for joining us for the Brethren Way Advent Devotional Series as we journey together daily with brethren across the world through the Advent season. Each episode includes a prayer written by brethren women across all 5 of our regions, followed by a Bible passage to consider and a couple of reflection questions to ponder. These prayers collectively cover a wide range of emotions, from longing and desperation to gratitude and hope, creating a tapestry of sincere expressions and requests in the context of faith and relationship with God through this season of hopeful waiting. We hope you enjoy the Brethren Way Advent Devotional Series.
What am I waiting for? Nothing, it feels like. The gifts I used to long for have been given, received with thankfulness and treasured with joy. I am left with a strange mix, gratitude and guilt. I've longed for love and motherhood. The sight of a friend's baby filled me with eagerness to cradle my own newborn. I dream of tiny fists and squishy cheeks. When that became my reality, the hard moments were intermingled with the sweetness of answered prayer. The days lengthened, the children grew, and now there are no longer infants in my home to swaddle and nurse. The mundane chaos of growing children fills my days with scraped knees, silly jokes, and scrawled drawings. I find myself with my eyes on what is in front of me, too absorbed in the day-to-day to look ahead and long for what is next. If I'm not waiting for something, am I stagnant? Have I become too distracted by the mundane that I have missed what I'm meant to wait for? Are my eyes open? Or am I so complacent that I choose comfort over kingdom? What draws my attention in everyday moments? Am I weighed down, brought low by a million tiny decisions each day? Perhaps I should be waiting on someone. Why should I be waiting for someone? Mary wasn't waiting for the angel to show up. She was content, accepting of the future and expecting normal, average. But the disruption of her contentment did not stop her from saying yes to the kingdom. The promise in the angel's words became a seed of hope and expectation that grew even as her belly did. Waiting for the arrival of her Messiah brought her to song, despite all of the pain and shame she endured. Jesus was born into the mundane, away from the comfort of home, among cows chewing their cud and donkeys braying. Birth pangs, a tiny babe covered in vernix, the soreness of Mary's milk coming in, messy, human, bloody birth bringing heaven to earth. Mary entered the mundane season of scraped knees and silly jokes too. Did she ever forget that the chubby cheek she kissed goodnight was the face of God himself? Did the everyday tasks of feeding and clothing and teaching a growing boy distract her from the wonder of Emmanuel, God with us? Did she ever forget, even for a little while, that a sword would pierce her own soul too? What rose up for her as she watched the sweet boy whom she taught to walk, who would later walk on water? Did her hopes and expectations grow as the boy she'd fed broke bread and fed thousands? Did she feel hopeless on that dark Saturday when everything seemed to stop, and yet she had to go on, one foot in front of the other, living the rhythms of Sabbath while grieving the loss of all hope? Or did she cling to the promise of everlasting life, that death would be swallowed up forever? Did she hold on to ridiculous hope that surged into full bloom at the sight of that empty tomb? Hope changes. We move through seasons of longing and contentment. Let us fix our eyes on the author of living hope, the one who never fails. When the ordinary seems overwhelming, let us find the sacred in the smallness. The kingdom is present in the ordinary joy, a small taste of the sweetness to come. Lord, let me be content and also ready for the next good thing. Help me wait in expectation for your kingdom. You are already in the mundane. Help me see it. In the grocery store, the quiet snuggles, the toddler giggles, the ouchie kisses, the packed lunches, the sound of my husband's car in the driveway. Help me notice your goodness in all of it. What am I waiting for? You. You in the big moments, your kingdom come. And you in the small moments, the everyday blessings of your grace poured out. Amen.
Isaiah 9, 6 through 7. For to us a child is born. To us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. Reflect on the prayer's exploration of waiting, contentment, and expectation, especially in the context of Mary's experience. Consider Isaiah and ask yourself, how does the promise of the child born, the son given, and the establishment of his government bring hope and expectation to the mundane moments of life? In what ways can I find the sacred in the smallness of everyday life, recognizing the presence of the kingdom in ordinary joys and challenges? How can I cultivate a spirit of contentment while remaining open and ready for the next good thing, trusting in the goodness of God in both big and small moments?
Come, Jesus, come, reign in perfect love. Come, Jesus, come, for yours is the kingdom, yours is the power. Come, Jesus, come.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Brethren Way Advent Devotional Series. If you enjoyed what you heard, please make sure to follow and subscribe to the Brethren Way podcast so you get daily notifications of new episodes through the Advent season. Let's journey together through this time of hopeful waiting and see what the Lord has in store for us.